Ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only, the mastermind himself, MeatCanyon, here on the ship today.
The mythical MeatCanyon.
Mythical MeatCanyon.
If you don't know who MeatCanyon is, he's the king of fucked up cartoons. Oh, what do you think your most fucked up cartoon is? What do you think is the most darkest cartoon you made?
I mean, the Willy Wonka one was pretty, like, I was surprised that actually stayed up because it's like so, I mean, it's like a direct reference to like Jeffrey Epstein and like all that stuff. And like, you're like a child, like following him, you know?
Right.
And it's like, I was pretty surprised by that. But I mean, I don't know, like by the end of it, especially with like animation, you've seen something like 80 million times. So you kind of just like, it just has no effect on you anymore. Right. So you kind of just hope, you cross your fingers that like, it like still lands and is fun, but it also doesn't go too far to where it just gets completely removed and you get like a guideline strike or something.
You ever had a moment where you finish one and like that, you know, you feel desensitized and then maybe you're like about to send it live, and do you ever get, was there one that was maybe like you wanted to hit cancel? Maybe just like not upload that week?
I mean, probably the Willy Wonka one, like it's very, like it's like so not subtle in what it's trying to do, you know? And like after a while, you like watched it a bunch of times and it was a big headache because it was like the first time that we did like a like a mixture of 2D and 3D. So it's like a 3D tracking camera. So it's like you're kind of just like following him as if he's actually walking through this space and stuff.
Yeah.
But like the lines in it, so you're like just stressed about that the whole time, and then you kind of like sit down and watch the final thing again, and it's like getting ready to upload, and like Willy Wonka's like on his hands and he's like looking back and he's like, nothing wrong with window shopping and shit.
God.
And you're just like, I don't. Was that too far? You're like, I don't know.
Let's find out.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see, Susan. What do you think?
Yeah, Susan, how do you feel?
So you said we. Do you have a team that helps?
Yeah, definitely. Like as the channel's grown, I've been lucky enough to like have enough money to actually fund things so like the productions can get better and we can still maintain the kind of upload schedule we do.
I mean, as creatives, it's like really hard to offload the creativity and delegate that. So, and I mean, I can only imagine that's so much more in animation because it's like, it's everything, right? It's your style, it's your idea. So how do you delegate to people, and like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, delegation and like even just time management and stuff has been a huge learning process. But I think that it's just like, one, not being such a huge, like I'm not a huge stickler on making everything absolutely perfect. Mm-hmm. Like, I think like some of the imperfections are like what makes it kind of still a charming internet video, because it's not something that's like on Netflix or something where people are going to be like, with that budget, really, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just about finding a good group of people that can like maintain the work schedule and like know how to like work fast with what we have, and also just like being able to know how to do things economically and like make things make sense. Also, it means like also, you have a fun idea, how can you consolidate it down to get it done in like 12 days?
Right.
So like, that's like the biggest hurdle that we've had to do. But yeah, great
But
team.
do you still draw everything and voice everything?
I voice just about everything just because it's 10 times easier.
Yeah.
Like it's very hard. Like it's, hey, just plug in a fucking mic and record something, but people are like, oh, I'll get it to you. But it just takes forever. Yeah. So being able to do it yourself immediately and then like set up like your radio play and then your animatic and all that stuff, so much easier to just do it to yourself. I do all the design still just because it's like the style, but like in terms of like the animation and stuff, it's all split up between the whole team.
Oh, okay.
And stuff. Yeah.
How big's the team?
We go from about 3 to 4 animators per video now.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get frustrated by that dilemma where you factor time against your creativity? I find myself doing that a lot where I'm like, ugh, I would do this, but there's not enough time.
Yeah,
so
that's like
do you ever
essential YouTube?
Yeah,
I think everybody feels that for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's like trying to think of ways where I've tried to make the best of it, like, because I think if you get in that like loop, I feel like you're constantly in this loop of being like, I kind of hate what I'm making all the time because it's like a lesser version of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can I make, like, with these constraints of starting off with being like, I want to write this script in like 2 pages.
Okay.
And then trying to like breed creativity out of restrictions.
Nice.
Which has been,
that's a great approach.
Actually, which has been like really fulfilling in a lot of ways of like, how can you, and then like you find out like this economical way is like 10 times better and so much easier than doing it this super convoluted, like, you know, crazy way that you imagine in your head.
Yeah.
So just trying to make time for that. And then also like with bigger projects, like letting that breathe and like enjoying the process more with that, and then considering like the turnaround time with YouTube as something that's just like we need to get it done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I remember like there was a time on YouTube where animation was huge, and then eventually they made changes to the algorithm that killed it off almost completely. The genre like went away because no one could make any money.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought that it had stayed that way until I found your channel and realized you were getting 10 million views per video, and people were like, you know, like your channel was huge.
Yeah.
And so has that like returned? Like, does YouTube reward? Is there money to be made on YouTube now in animation?
I think that there is. Like, I think that it's totally viable. I think that it's just you have to get like it's a business.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like I think a lot of those animators that had to leave back then they're making like, if you look at this, I mean, they still hold up today. Like they're so good. So and it sucks to say, it's kind of like what you're saying of like, my whole philosophy behind it was I like also really dumb, quick things and then move on to the next thing and like treat that almost as from like a business standpoint, but then also feel like you can compete with vloggers. Compete, because that's what you're doing is you need to like live in the ecosystem that YouTube is, and you can't bitch about everything. You have to like, how do you adapt to it? And that's like one way to adapt. And because of that, it's like, you know, am I making like top tier, like this is my magnum opus? It's like, nah, probably not yet, but it's at least allowing me to like fund those things and figure out what exactly that kind of project looks like for the future. But I definitely think so. I also think that there's like so many great animation channels out right now.
Yeah.
It's really, really.
What are some?
Worthy Kids.
Okay.
It's fantastic. Brilliant artist. There's Sploshy is another one. These are like more like, I guess, weird. I'll just list off some, but like Ethereal Snake, Flash Gets, Sick Animation is still doing stuff, and he's great. He's been around forever. I don't know, just tons. Like, if also Cass Vanderpool, you probably see him. His stuff blows up all the time. He gets awesome views too. So
I've also noticed there's some channels that kind of rip your style a little bit. Do you notice that?
I mean, even if they do, it's like it's just a fucked up thing. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think if it's like, as long as you just don't, I guess, copy the video idea, then I'm like, whatever. But in terms of like style and stuff, I don't think that mine is like too crazy, you know, honed in. I think it's just like a fucked up version of stuff.
Yeah. So that's fair.
What do you like? Okay. Cause when I look at your, whenever I watch your videos, I get a weird, like warm feeling of like newgrounds.com. Yeah. Like, were there, what do you think, like as a kid, maybe like molded like this like sense of humor that you have? Like, is there anything specific? Like,
I mean, you could say that the Newgrounds people definitely did. Like, I love Psychic Pebbles and Oni and all those guys. Like, they do amazing work still. I unfortunately didn't get into them super late. I didn't have internet until I was in college.
No way.
So like,
didn't have internet?
Yeah.
Dude, tell
us
about that.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Just lived in,
How did you watch porn?
I didn't. My dad had Playboys, and it was just awful. Like, he's like, don't look for them. It was just in a stack. So clear. You're like, you really didn't put it. I think he was like, find it. But
don't look for them under the bed.
You don't want to look. It's also weird. It's like a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
What are you doing with that?
Yeah.
I always liked how those came in like the censored bag. Like that changes anything. It's like, oh yeah, no, that's the bag with tits in it. Yeah, for sure.
But otherwise than that, I mean, I don't, like, early Adult Swim was really awesome. And then from there, just like tons of like really gruesome, detailed like comic books like Spawn, and shit. I was just like skin and teeth and like folds and stuff. So
yeah. What did you live in an area that just didn't have internet, or?
Yeah, we lived on I lived on a cattle farm that like just did, even like the satellite internet didn't even
just
connect
sucked.
out there.
Yeah.
So like no, Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh yeah, right.
But but like I had friends that had internet, but it's like we would go and on like E-Bombs World back in the day. I just didn't know everything that was out there, you know. So it wasn't until like 2007 when like I started knowing about like YouTube and shit. And so
damn.
So is that about when you discovered Newgrounds as well?
No, I really didn't even know about Newgrounds until I was like 19 when I was in school for animation. Like, how have you not seen this? This is like a thing. And I was like, I don't know.
Damn.
But it was super inspiring because all those guys, it was showed that you can like do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Because I think before that, everybody's like, I want to work for Adult Swim. or something.
Yeah.
Right. So, but after you see that, you're just like, fuck, I just want to make stupid shit with my friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some really horrible. Sorry, don't cut you off. There's some horrible shit on Newgrounds. I remember like there's like this Flash animation game for like being a school shooter.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, yeah, and it was like really like, but they made it really like juvenile looking, and all like all the characters and the students were like round, bubbly characters, and
Luke, can you search most fucked up Newgrounds games?
like killing people was like it's like really satisfying. Like the animation, you're like, damn, what am I doing? Like even at that age, I had enough to be like, this is fucked up.
Yeah, man, killing people and tons of fuck games and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what people love.
Yeah.
That's what sells.
Yeah. Murder and fuck games.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep trying to push Fortnite, dude.
Scorsese's been pushing that for 40 years.
Yeah. Epic Games, give us a fuck game already.
Did you find it, Luke, or no?
Enough.
Let's think about albinoblacksheep.com. Remember that one?
Yeah. Wow. Jesus, bro.
Oh yeah, what was that?
It was like,
It had that one where it was like the Saddam Hussein thing. And it
Oh
took
my
it
God.
took that clip from Bruce Almighty where
Yeah.
Steve Carell's doing that. Blah, 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 blah.
yeah.
But it looped that
Yes.
forever. And he's like flying around.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad shit on there too. Weirdly like wholesome animation that I used to love was Zhao Zhao. You remember that? Like it was just like a stick figure. It was like they recreated like Ip Man as like a stick figure, and they'd be these really intense animations of like a stick figure fighting like 30 other stick figures. And I remember just being like thoroughly impressed with like, how they would they took like this 2D character and then like they give him weapons and then like it would present like 3D space and the coordination with all that just was really dope.
What is like the ideal career, I guess, for a modern day animator?
Fuck. God. You got to really love it.
Yeah,
Because your ass is getting abused 100%. Especially if you work for a studio system.
yeah.
It's just like such an underappreciated art form
Yeah.
and stuff. I don't know if like, did anyone know of like the strike going on? Did the strike happen here?
Yeah,
With the guild? I don't know if it was animation. I think it was like more writer and stuff. But
it could have, but I don't know if it got enough like media play.
yeah, I don't know either. But
And is that changing with NFTs? Because I think like we're kind of going through this like renaissance in terms of like artists' rights and
yeah, well, I think that the biggest problem with NFTs is just the eco problem. So I think it's hard for people to justify making money off of how bad it is on the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I think like if it gets to a place where it can be more green, along with all crypto, I think that you will see more people have an opportunity to actually make something fucking awesome. And it feels in this digital format can be as regarded as like a Francis Bacon painting.
Do you see? There's this article I saw yesterday. All like of the Chinese mining outfits quadrupled their power draw in the last like couple months.
really?
Yeah.
And is it clean energy or no?
No, it's like
Horrible.
yeah, yeah.
I feel like we'd hear about it more if it was just like, oh my God, this is so much clean energy.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be solved in a year. I think.
1 year?
Yes.
I don't think that'll be that quick.
Bruh.
That's very optimistic. That's
Well,
childlike
because
optimism
of
at
like
best.
proof of stake and everything. Like that's what.
So that's childlike optimism. That's
That's
like when you're
big nostril
that's like
optimism
two
right
grown
there.
men with scotch drinking. They're like, I think Ethereum 2.0 could be green, and then the kid like walks up and he's like, it's gonna be better by next year. And they're like, They pat his head, and fucking shoo him away a little bit.
I'm just glad we're the grown men in this scene.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. No, I think with like proof of stake and other cryptos like Solana or whatever. I know it hasn't happened yet, but I think it has to happen. There's no other way that we can.
I mean,
we can go.
Just to take it there. I mean, like we've needed to make cars green since ever, and like that shit hasn't happened. So like I have zero faith.
But it's happening.
Hey, but the Ford Lightning,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
America's #1.
yeah. I mean, it is happening, but it's gonna. I mean, I think
So
it's just-
either the world dies and we all fucking burn and
Yeah.
perish.
That will happen before.
I think
anything.
that's gonna
That will happen before.
100%.
Yeah. I think
Because
that
cars aren't going away. The blockchain is not going away.
Yeah.
I think that will happen, and then as it's happening, then every like government person will be like, "Well, we have the electric cars now, and crypto works." It's like it's too late, bro.
Yeah.
There's no ozone. We
I
can't
just think
go
like
outside.
the energy argument is just like in the like .com boom. Like people would have been like, "Oh, don't plug in your computers. Everyone's getting a personal computer. It's fucking up the
Yeah.
energy. Everyone's using so much more energy. Can we just stop making websites?"
I mean, yeah,
people will be like, no, what?
But I think maybe it's the fact that like crypto like it's just like persistent. It's just like machines like crunching. I don't know. I mean, I guess that doesn't really change the power draw. But
I want to be on record by saying that I don't know hardly anything.
Neither. Actually.
So these comment sections, when people are,
none of us do.
I'm just going to be completely honest. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
It's all right. Do you know how the internet works? You can go, I completely don't know what I'm talking about, and this is my rough opinion on it. Guaranteed, there's always one person who's like, yeah, you're still a fucking idiot for even guessing.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Yeah.
Cody wants the world to burn.
Yeah.
No,
what I think's going to happen is you're going to be at this crossroads where the earth is like dead. Like people are, it's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say
Yeah, but at least
whatever.
we'll have sick NFTs.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, check my wallet. I think there's going to be a giant farewell concert.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah.
And everybody's going to be is living up in the North Pole because it's the warmest spot, or it's like the most livable spot now because the rest is just fucking fucked, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like Doja Cat up there. This is like 20 years.
Okay. 20 years from now, you think it's going to happen?
Yeah, this shit is going down, bro.
Yeah.